to go through with things, and he just manned up every once in a while, I'm sure it would have been fine.
Oh, please tell me we're live. Are we? He looks annoyed. I think he's live. I think we're live. Hi,
Locals
buddy.
for live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the HarHar Podcast. I'm your host, Dev. I'm joined by Jay and Steven this week.
Hi.
Of which he's now regretting.
Yeah, who was the one who was going to suffer
Last week was
through this
good.
one?
Last week was
Sorry.
great.
It's because I wasn't here. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I was.
It's like there's subtle, there's not subtle,
and then there's
depth.
that.
And then there's depth.
Hi. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Oh,
You can join us on tons of audio podcast services.
Tons of audio.
Yeah, it's like 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them, which is
man.
quite a few of them. There's a lot of the major ones. You can also, watch it live on twitch.tv/HarHarHQ, and on YouTube if you want to do that. Good luck with that. YouTube's interesting.
So it's Twitch. Let's be honest. For
Fair
just a
enough.
minute.
But Twitch is us live. YouTube is different. I don't know.
YouTube is us eventually.
Yes. Whenever they get uploaded.
But speaking of
They're
which,
uploaded. It just takes more time for us to get
man.
that shit done. 'Cause, there's thumbnails and stuff. Anyways, hi, welcome to the show. If you don't know who we are, well, tough shit. You're gonna learn.
If you don't know who we are, you will learn quickly,
You will learn.
and you may regret quicker. We don't know.
Yeah.
What is? Oh no! I had to reinstall Discord earlier, and all my notifications are no. Turn off notifications.
Oh, here we go. Where's Jay's Discord?
Oh God!
How's everyone's week been?
Huh?
How's everyone's week been?
Yeah. Let's we could talk about that. I'll be honest though. So for my week so far, work has been standard, and this is my second week going into a full gym rotation, and that is actually going surprisingly well. So
Gym rotation?
have not killed. Yeah, like actually like a gym routine, I guess rotations.
Oh,
about
okay.
what
You
we're-
mean like actual exercise?
Yeah, actual exercise. Like who'd have thought, right? Yeah. Going back to my 5-day-a-week routine where I focus on like muscle groups and stuff, because I tried the whole 3 days thing, and that's just way too easy for me to say, yeah, I'll just do it later and never do it. So I need the 5 days. Which is convenient because my neighbor, it all came about because my neighbor texted me out of the blue last week and was like, hey, I had just sat down for dinner. It's like, hey, I'm gonna start going to the gym every day. Like, do you want to go? I'm like, which I knew for a fact he didn't mean every day. At least I hope not. And I was like, yeah, sure. Well, he said, great, because I'm clueless and I'm gonna need your help because you have gym experience. I was like, which, to be clear, I have worked out before and was guided before, and so I go off that knowledge. I'm not like a super buff athletic guy or whatever.
What do you mean? Audio listeners can't see you. You're extremely buff and
which
probably
is-
the manliest man we know.
Listen, I'll go with that last bit. I have no problem going with the last bit.
Honestly, out of the group, if we're going off of social constructs, you probably are. Out of societal constructs, it'd be between you and Steven out of the group. Steven, because just like...
I fought you for it.
No, honestly, I think this is all Jay because he's at least married and has like a career. I mean,
it's manly to be a bachelor.
Neckbeard who lives with my parents.
That's manly,
bro.
In some circles,
bro. Like, I will. So let's just shatter some illusions. I think we need. No, don't you dare! I'll leave. I'll do it. I'm sick of it, Dev. But no, I'll just shatter some illusions that I was in a very similar situation at 26 bub, so I get it. Which also makes me sound old as hell. To be clear, I'm 29. Because I forget this is like going to a new audience now, so it's like I'm not like as old.
You're not ancient. You're just.
I'm not ancient.
Decrepit.
I'm weathered. I'm weathered. I'm weathered, you assholes.
Did we both say
Oh my
decrepit?
gosh.
Yes.
Yes, you both said decrepit. Why do you have to agree at my expense?
It's just
Oh
just
my
one of those
gosh.
growing up things, you know.
Oh fuck, dude, that's funny.
Anyway, how is your week?
You want to start, Steven?
Sure. Well, it's hard for me to tell what day is what anymore because I no longer have weekends.
Oh, that's right, you don't.
Yeah, I'm working 2 jobs again now. Technically 3 if you include the editing for dev.
I'd include it. You're getting paid.
It's true. But some people don't. So, but yeah,
Editing is not real work. God.
Dude, it's like
some people
That was my
I'll say
sarcasm.
this.
That was my sarcasm voice.
yeah.
I will be the person that says if you actually think this, like if you are watching or listening and you think this, fuck you.
And now we don't have any viewers. I'm just kidding.
I will be the black sheep of our group that will say that.
No, but I can't get pull it.
No, you can't.
But yeah,
Am I biased? Yeah. Is it unfair? Sure. But
this is America where we're biased and unfair.
exactly. That's a best.
Being
Damn it! That means
political. What the
damn it!
fuck?
That means I'm political. Shit.
I could sneak it in there. That's how it works. But
Fuck
yeah,
both
this
of
week
you.
for work has been ultimately okay.
Which is good.
There's been a lot of rain out here where I live, which is the only part that I don't like because it doesn't rain like I really enjoy. Where it's like the very hard, lots of rain where like the droplets are the size of quarters. It's just sprinkling for like 2, 3, 5 hours straight. And you're like, well, I can stand outside and not really feel like it's raining, but it's definitely raining.
I like that
And
rain.
So here's the thing. I like that rain if it's for like a long period of time. That's fine because that means that negates a lot of the humidity. Like if you get a light rain on a hot day around here, it's like it's going from an already hot day to just now it's a sauna kind of day, which saunas can be enjoyable, but not when you're out and about and trying to do things.
Yeah, for out here it was just 50 degrees and wet and a little sticky, and ultimately like it wasn't that bad, honestly. Like I like there's not really much I can complain about other than just like the people that I work with at the schools sometime, or the parents and their reactions.
Oh,
Like
I don't envy. I don't envy your position. For me personally, like I love photography. I love photography as a hobby. If for whatever reason, if some twist of fate happened to where I could get photography as a job, and school photography was like my only way to ever do it, like I said, that's it. Like the fate is written. Like I either do this as photography or I never do it professionally. I'll just stick to it as a hobby. Like 100%. Like, and that was already me before I met you and before I heard your stories on it. So I'm like, yeah, no, absolutely not.
There are definitely times when I debate going back to school, but only like not to do more with like film and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy film and things, but I think if I were to go back to school, it'd be a teacher. Like, because I just really enjoy working with the students.
You are such a glutton for fun. Okay.
I am.
Okay, well, no, hang on. So, I mean, yes, I still mean that, but I can respect it. Like, teachers, one of the very many critically underpaid professions of this country.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely say that, and that's part of the reason why I don't like. That's part of the reason why I haven't decided to drop everything and go back to school. Not worth it.
Yeah, so before me and Star moved out here, she was a teacher at the school district that I was also working IT for. If we're going by order of operations, she got her job first.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it was a typical IT job for some parts, but then it's like I'm one of 4 techs. There's 13 schools in the county because it's elementary, middle, high, all over the damn place. But the point, the link that I'm drawing here is one of the teachers. So, and I was raised in this place, so like if they don't know me, they got to know me quick. But one of the teachers was like, did you ever think about maybe, because I'm very good at my job when it comes to like helping, like I will explain the problem to you and like here's how to avoid it in the future. And one of them was like, wow, did you ever think about teaching IT? I literally laughed in reaction to this question. Like, it's like, do you ever think about it? And I literally went, no. Like, that was my reaction. I was, no. I would just rather do the job, get paid more money, and not have to deal with kids.
That's fair.
It is fair. Like, when I think back to when I was going to school, and I was like, I'm going to get a degree with working with cameras, I never thought I'd actually just be sitting here dealing with children and their obnoxious parents.
With pictures, like that's like teachers have a level all their own with parents that they have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You have a level all your own, and those in your profession that they deal with. I think, and then there's coaches, but like just of the 3, I would say coaches probably have it easier.
I'd say so. Coaches probably deal with parents the least.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some goodies. Like, but
why isn't my son on first string? Because he cries whenever he gets hit.
Oh my gosh, man! Like,
that wouldn't be for me. Though I do feel like if I did end up becoming a teacher, they would probably start asking me to do sports things too. Like, because I did wrestling and football and drama and choir and band.
You did wrestling? So I knew about all of that, but I never knew you did wrestling.
Yeah, he did wrestling too.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. That was the one I actually enjoyed. Like, I quit football before I quit wrestling. And,
nice.
Yeah. Which, I don't know why. I quit wrestling soon after I quit football.
I legit was not allowed to play football. Like, the option was never given to me. Parental rule, not like a health-related rule.
I mean, so I played football.
It was a health, yeah. It was a health-related motivation that basically was like, she didn't want it was my mother. She didn't want me to play. I was like, Mom, what? And back, I was like serious about it for a brief period of time. I was like, Mom, why? It's like, no, I don't want you to get hurt. Is basically what it boils down to. The same person let me do martial arts, let me go camping for weeks on end, let me ride four-wheelers. I now have a hobby where I go into caves and rappel off cliffs. So it's like, Now, granted, I will say the last 2 consistently safer than a game of football probably would have been for me back then. But still,
how much brain damage do you want as a child?
Yeah, it's kind of there are a couple horror stories from guys at my school that I'm just like, when that happened to them, I was like, yeah, I'm good. There's a guy I know who does not remember his 16th birthday.
Does he? Oh.
There's a guy we all know who doesn't remember a play or an entire game.
I don't remember that one. Not me,
Jesse?
Of course. Does he really?
Yeah, there was an entire football game where he's like, yeah, I don't remember it. Pretty much.
Yeah,
the coach was like, this is what you did.
He was zonked out of his skull for like a couple days, actually. Like, if I recall, if this is the same situation, he was like ill. So like he played the game. If I remember how the order, yeah. So he played the game, came back to school the next day. He had to get taken out in an ambulance. I don't remember what exactly went down. It has not happened to him since, but I mean, he had like fever and like it apparently looked bad for a hot minute. No pun intended.
The worst
Sorry.
I ever had when it came to sports is I lost vision in my right eye for a while. Like I lost my peripheries in both eyes, but I couldn't see for about an hour in this eye.
Fuck that.
No thanks.
I mean, I've gotten a concussion from sports, but I've never like one was because I was a keeper, so like yeah, I'm gonna get hurt occasionally because that's that position. You are the last line of defense.
You volunteered.
You'll get a soccer ball in the face at least once or twice.
That's what happened. I like it. It was a bullet. So I didn't quite get enough time to stop it. Immediately after, I'm more than likely concussed because I'm dizzy. I'm seeing 2s, 3s. I'm just like this. A goal ends up being scored on me because my teammate was like, Dev, and tries to pass to me during this. And I can't.
No.
The coach takes me out, and at first like, hey, why'd you let that? And then like kind of sees me like, you need to sit down. And I'm like, got it, coach. Coach was also a sexist asshole, but that's a different story for a different day. What I'm gonna divert into, since I have the mic for a moment, I'm gonna start with my bit.
You were just...
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you guys from talking unless I can interject and then steal it.
Okay.
All right, your bit. Fair. Come on, let's see it.
All right, so as we all know on the show, I've been rating Seltzers. So I have 4 more to add to the list today, which I will be drinking on the show.
Have you brought in the dry marker erase board yet?
No, but I've got the not yet. I should get one of those for this.
Yeah,
bit.
pull it in. Be like,
right now,
this
all
one's
I've
my
got
favorite.
is my list that is gonna partially cover over you.
sponsored.
So you're gonna have to go stage left or to your right, Stephen, just a little.
Just throw it up and I'll do it in a second.
So the list as follows. We'll go in reverse
Oh, he
order.
actually has one.
Yeah, I've had this list for a while. So going in reverse order from least favorite to most favorite so far. The Bud Light Lime, Lemon Lime, Bud Light Mango, Bud Light Black Cherry, Bud Light Strawberry. Bud Light ones so far have been garbage. The Truly Raspberry Lime, White Claw
You
Natural
can only
Lime,
see the one hand.
White
It
Claw
looks like you're
Mango.
petting the list, Stephen.
I am
He is petting the list. White Claw Tangerine, White Claw Grapefruit, Vizzy Pineapple Mango, White Claw Raspberry, Vizzy Black Cherry Lime, Truly Wild Berry, Truly Lemonade, Corona Mango, Truly Black Cherry Lemonade, Corona Natural Lime, Truly Strawberry Lemonade, Truly Blueberry and Acacia, Vizzy Strawberry Kiwi, Truly Mango Lemonade, Corona Blackberry Lime, which was really good, White Claw Black Cherry, Truly Black Cherry, Vizzy Blueberry Pomegranate, which is one of my favorites that I've had, and then there's Watermelon and Lemon White Claw, which are my 2 favorites because those are 2 of my favorite flavors.
I had a White Claw watermelon. Like, that was my first experience with White Claw.
It does taste like regular watermelon. It doesn't taste like flavored watermelon.
No, it does not.
It does
no,
if
it does
you...
not.
Okay, you need to experience more.
It absolutely does not. Not to me.
Anyways.
What do you have today?
Today is a local, because I'm from Washington, is the local brand San Juan. This is their first variety pack. They're probably going to come out with another one later. It's all fruits from the Pacific Northwest with huckleberry, Rainier cherry, raspberry cran, and of course, the Fuji apple.
No, my own. Can you do huckleberry?
Yeah, I was gonna let you guys pick which one I start with.
Thank you.
Yeah, I vote this as well. Because now I'm just imagining that line from Doc Holliday. I'm your huckleberry.
I'm thinking of
I love that
the
movie.
flavors of the Mississippi River. You know, maybe the flavor of tricking somebody to paint a fence for you.
Dev, if you get really drunk on this stuff in particular.
What the hell even is huckleberry?
It's a berry. It's kind of like...
Thank you, Dev. Thank you so much for your deep insight
off.
for that.
It's kind of like a like it's not. It's
it looks like a blueberry.
But I would say the taste is almost like a raspberry crossed with a blueberry.
Interesting.
Okay.
It's got good flavor. I'm not gonna lie. The flavor is immediate. which is
no
great.
one else will get this. No one else will get this line, but I don't care. But Dev, if you ever get like drunk on like the Huckleberry stuff, like specifically, I just need you to go. I have 2 guns, 1 for each of you. That's all I want. I don't even care if you. I don't even care if you don't know what the scene is. I don't care. It's funny to me.
I'm trying to decide where I want to put this.
Like you don't have to rate it now. Like I feel like you need to drink the whole can and then like.
Usually I can tell from
Not
the
all
beginning.
at once. Not all at once.
Hey, I got 3 more to try.
This doesn't help.
Well,
Usually,
you know how long the show usually runs, so I think you got time.
yeah. Well, I needed to get started like 20 minutes ago. I should have taken this away faster. Anyways.
Oh my god, we've
been
left
live
Dev
for
just
20
sitting
minutes.
For 20 minutes. Oh man.
But I can usually figure out about where I'm gonna put it from like the first couple of drinks.
I'm frustrated now because
Why?
I'm reading the difference between huckleberry and blueberry, and it's not helping. It's like, what do they bear many similarities. They're
so
they're small and round and range in color from blue to red, very similar to blueberries.
Oh my
What-
god, he's so aggravated he can't read.
What does a huckleberry taste like? It depends on its color, but it's either sweet or tart, similar to blueberries. Are you
It's
fucking kidding?
Okay, it's a different fucking plant, man.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
if a
reading-
different
reading that
plant.
here scientifically. The huckleberry comes
Oh,
from
man.
the Gaius acacius or the vaccinium plant, while blueberries only come from the vaccinium plant. So essentially, they come from the same plant sometimes. At least plant type.
Okay.
Oh
I don't know
my
why you're getting
goodness.
pissed off about plant biology.
Why the
don't
hell?
know, and I don't know why I
There's no
find it this
difference.
funny. I'll be real.
Because there's a
I don't
difference
know.
in their genomes. Their makeup is different, so they're different, and there's a slight different taste. I can tell this isn't blueberry. I can tell it wants to be like blueberry, but it's not quite blueberry. It's the Pacific Northwest blueberry.
I have a
To
question.
me, it seems like it seems like the difference between an orange and like a nectarine, and the only difference is the size.
I
Maybe
have a question.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
I have a question, and I think, much to everyone's thankfulness, it has nothing pertaining to this discussion, but rather something about just our show in general. So
Our show
we're
about
on,
nothing.
we're on we're on Spotify and stuff now, right?
Yes.
And all this other stuff. Okay. And I don't know this, and I feel like I should, because my wife also has a podcast, and it's also on Spotify. And this is not a plug for her this time,
You can move
but
over,
I feel like not so great outdoors. Yeah, I feel like I should at least know this detail. But are there like categories or stuff that you can put our show in?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you pick for us? And that is, and my basis for this question is every so often we talk about video games. Every so often
That
we'll
was
talk
the
news
hardest thing for this.
or
Picking
whatever.
critically
And now
casuals was
we just had a
film reviews.
tangent argument about the difference between Huckleberry and Blueberry.
Let me pull up real quick.
So
I think I can
what
check
the
the
hell are
let me
we?
double
Is
check
my
the categories real
question.
quick, okay? Give me just a second.
Oh,
I think
man.
I can double check what category I put us under.
I can't right now.
Is there a way for me to check that easily? That'd be great if it's really easy to check.
I feel
To
oh
be
my
one's
God.
Huckleberry.
I'm exhausted.
To be one's Huckleberry usually mean as a phrase as I'm your Huckleberry. Usually translates to be I'm just the right person for a given job or willing to be the executor of some commission. An example of this in 1832 would have been he was within a huckleberry of smothering to death, of being smothered to death.
Okay.
Later, it became to mean someone inconsequential.
I put us under hobbies because there's literally no other fucking goddamn fucking thing I could put us under.
That's fair.
There's not even like a talk show option.
That's
really,
fair. Well,
no.
so okay, so but like podcasts, right? Like on an audio platform, are that's kind of what they are.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of what you're gonna
Because like I could have like so
I
I
feel
put
like-
I wanted to put us under leisure because that was the one that made the
No.
most sense out of
Yeah,
everything. Because you
I
want to hear the
get-
categories, like the top categories that I could have chose between: art,
Yes.
business, comedy, education, fiction, government, history, health and fitness, kids and family, leisure, music, news, religion and spirituality, science, social society and culture. Sorry, the social sciences were right above it. I should have kept my brain kept going up. Sports, technology, true crime, TV and film.
I feel so it's unfortunate because I feel like some of those would like let us be a little more discoverable because hobbies is very broad.
Yeah, I would probably put in the not so great outdoors more as a hobbies thing, and then
Yeah.
That would be under no, that's
Yeah,
under
go
that's under
ahead.
true crime.
It is.
Yeah, which has a category.
Yeah.
What we
Which
do doesn't have a
also has
category under these things.
sure
So,
we're
like,
not even
what-
considered leisure.
I
I
feel
have us
like-
under leisure as hobbies.
Okay.
You want to know the
Oh.
other leisure options? There's animation
Oh.
and manga, automotive, aviation, crafts, games, hobbies, home and garden, video games.
See, damn.
Hmm.
I guess I should probably I should revive T-pop at some point and just pre-record it.
Yeah!
Put it on there. I am not
Nothing
doing
else works.
I am not doing T-pop live anymore though. I will gladly potentially
I'm down to do off.
go for it for just pre-recorded, but we'll see. So,
We could also do
I
like
feel
gaming
like-
reviews and stuff like that. Way.
see, so and you can only pick one. Like you can't like do like tags or
Nope.
anything. I don't know. I have no clue about
Not
the
through
process.
Anchor that I'm using for this. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would say that I feel like we almost qualify as comedy.
all right, you want to know the comedy subtexts? Comedy
Sure.
Oh,
interviews,
so you
improv,
have to.
and stand up.
Oh. Oh.
So do we fit under
yeah.
those?
No, we
Improv.
don't. We don't.
Oh,
I guess the closest would be improv because we never have a script. We don't even we only ever have some kind of rough idea of what we're going to do, and we talk about it seconds before a live. Speaking of which, Dev.
Mm.
So,
I was about to say I had a thing I wanted to talk about too.
oh, go for it. No, go for it.
Since we had mentioned improv, I wanted to bring up something.
Oh,
I've
no.
been seeing online lately, like a bunch of top 10 best improv moments in film,
Oh yeah.
or like news articles, same thing. And two of the ones that I keep seeing pop up, which I personally don't consider improv, is when Viggo Mortensen broke his
Yeah.
toe on
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings set,
Yeah.
and when Tom Cruise broke his ankle on the Mission Impossible 5 set.
No,
they
that's
call
not
that
improv. That's,
Yes,
that's
they said
staying
the
in
reaction
character.
to those were improv, and I was like,
Well,
"Fuck you!"
no, those are reactions to pain. Is what that is. And really honestly, and both of those are commitment to role because
Mhm.
Vigo used that through to basically the scream, which is funny because if you read the whole interview, if you find the whole interview about that particular moment, they're basically like they reshot that moment multiple times, settled on that one because that one sounded the most just
Visceral.
painful, yeah, and visceral. And then come to find out later after cut was said that he broke his toe. Like, oh, he broke two toes actually. I think it was
Something
two.
like that.
And then Tom Cruise getting back up after he freaking
God damn. I remember seeing the interview where before the movie came out of him talking about breaking his fucking foot, and then they showed
Yeah,
the
I don't
footage.
like-
I was like,
yeah, no,
"Ah!"
no, absolutely not. Yeah, it was
Bruce!
one of the late night shows.
Yeah.
I forget who had it. Oh man, but yeah, it was.
God,
That
I
was
gotta watch
damn.
that clip now. I
Where
want
he
to be
broke it?
horrified.
Where he broke
You want to
his
be
foot?
horrified?
It's
Go
in
ahead,
the movie.
go ahead.
It's the cut, I believe, in the movie.
Well, yeah, it's the cut that's in the movie, but you don't get to see like a close up of him.
Yeah, it does.
breaking
It
his
doesn't.
ankle.
It doesn't. Yeah, no, they show you. They make sure.
They have
The
the
Graham
angles.
Norton show.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Graham Norton.
There
All right.
we go.
The British one.
I love the Graham Norton show. It's hilarious.
The British one that's like actually based in
Britain
over there. Yeah.
We're not counting James Corden, all right?
Why not?
We're not counting James Corden after I suffered through Cats.
So, yeah,
you're a mistake for watching it. I think
that is that man across from me's fault for picking that movie.
My fault? Yes, absolutely.
He takes pride in that.
Like I there are times when I sit here and I'm like, why the hell do I pick such awful movies?
Okay,
and then
can I
go ahead.
No, finish what you were gonna say.
And then I remembered it's for the content.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, so now
we couldn't have skipped Cats. I'll agree on that.
No, admittedly, you all couldn't have. At the same time, you also could never have got me to watch it.
Scramble shakes the railway cat.
You will stop.
Okay,
right
so anyway,
now.
but that's also
DNCA.
That's also kind of our point of we don't have a script. We only have rough ideas, and which now finally leads me to Dev, who before the show started, Stephen, I was like, I threw it on him to before the show is out tonight, that we will have our subject / idea for our Photoshop contest that you and I are going to do. And he did not have the reaction, admittedly, that I wanted him to have. Or rather, I really didn't want him to have any reaction. I was kind of just going to be like, oh, okay. It was kind of what I was wanting, or at least expecting. And he kind of did that. And then I detected a gleam in his eye. And then he begins to smile his Dev smile. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to like this, am I? And he basically essentially says that out loud. He says, y'all are going to hate me. And so before stream, he seems to have committed to an idea. So Dev, is this still true? Like,
yeah, I think so.
See, when it
no.
like Jay, before I hear Dev's idea,
yeah,
I have stopped telling Dev my ideas for content. Only because Dev was like, what if we do this? And then what if we do this?
Well, this
and then
is
we
an
do
idea.
this?
No, this is the whole fucking the Photoshop thing.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So I need the idea.
Well, so I thought about doing this one of two ways when I initially pitched it, which is what we're doing tonight for at least this round of it. We'll see how many we do. Is someone else comes up with an idea, or you and me, Stephen, go back and forth. Like I pick a subject, and then we do it, and then you pick a subject, and then we do it, and we go back to that, which we could at some point. I just thought having something that neither of us were prepared for beforehand makes it, number one, more fair and potentially fun, but I'll reserve that judgment until I hear what we're doing. Dev?
Okay. All right, so
you all should see his smile right now. Just you.
You guys aren't gonna like it. It's dumb.
Okay.
It was the first idea that came to mind, so that's why I'm sticking to it. Because I don't have to think of anything else.
That's fair. I respect
it's just like a test. You stick with your first answer.
So, we all know about my bits. The big bit on this podcast is me and the Seltzers.
Yeah.
Is that a bit? I guess it is technically.
At this point, it's a bit.
I consider it a segment.
With it running.
Okay. It's a running segment. I like that.
I don't like where this is headed.
Why not? So you guys know how like Bud Light has the Bud Light Night?
Yeah.
I want to be like the Seltzer Night or something like that, like, or something, or maybe I have a giant mech made out of seltzer or something.
I fucking
or like
hate
a
him.
Hulk Buster made out of seltzer, something like that, where my little like bobblehead pokes out like in Infinity War for Mark Ruffalo.
I actually don't care for you right now.
Like I have some pretty interesting ideas that pop in mind. but can I do them?
Yeah, that's the thing. I have some ideas. All right, so I guess. All right. So. All right, so I have some questions, I guess, pertaining to this. So I imagine this is not going to be like you literally like a photo of you. This is like
No, I'd like to be in it.
You would no, but like we're talking like as a photo as we edited, or like this is something we're going to have to digitally render. Is what I'm asking.
Oh, you're probably gonna have to create the entire thing. It's up to your interpretation. Whether or not you want me inside like Ripley's mech from Alien, or if you want me in like a Gundam made of Seltzer. That's up to you. How you interpret Dev in as the Seltzer hero is up to you. And I will be willing to take pictures as needed of like headshot or whatever to help with it. But I want to see how you interpret the idea, where it goes. You guys can have the exact same idea without knowing it, and that would be even funnier.
See that when I thought of this show as a first as an idea for content, I figured it'd be something along the lines of Jay and I would be given a couple of assets, probably from okay, we want Dev as a knight if Seltzer, and it's like, okay, so we get one picture of Dev that we want us to use, maybe a can that we want to have to use in Subway, and then one other thing, and then we'd be given a time limit to how long we can make it.
Well, you got a week.
Yeah, well, that's more than I was figured, but then
I mean, because then we can bring it up on the next show, and I can pick the winner. Next week.
It depends on how we want to do it. Yeah, like, do we want to make it a regular segment of the HarHar podcast, or do we want to make it a YouTube only video? Like, because I honestly feel like we should start getting YouTube content on.
Well,
like,
I definitely feel like for our creative process, like we can record ourselves, like doing it and talking about it, and we can edit that stuff together. And I definitely think that's a straight to YouTube idea for us for sure. So yeah,
but
another reason to check out YouTube.
On the show.
Ratings can happen on the show, and I think we could also, I think what we should also do is do a poll on Instagram and Twitter and say, hey, what do you think? Is Dev right or wrong?
Oh, that was my plan afterwards, was to throw it on Twitter and be like,
we get to judge from Dev, and then it'd be
Dev said Jay won this week, but what do you think?
And the honor of winning is you get the honor of editing all the thumbnails that way. I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck that.
But I say, like, none of us want to do that now, and they're not that hard.
Again, what assets you guys want to use, I can give you.
So I think we need to decide, and this needs to be like an off-the-show kind of thing, but I think we need one pose from him. I think one full-body pose, and then potentially a headshot. Like up to about to kind of here, and I think that's all we get of him.
That's fine, and you don't have to use both of them. That's the thing. No. You can use one or the other, or you can even I'd even open it up that you can go through my inventory of photos and use any of those. I'll open it up to that.
Sometimes. I go through like your Twitter and stuff. Sometimes your Instagram. I'm like, is there a picture that I could use? And I usually don't find anything.
He actually just posted a fairly decent headshot on Instagram recently.
Well, yeah, he posts some fairly decent headshots, but are they useful for the content that I want to make?
No, not a lot of reactions for the thumbnails.
No. All right.
And then and that's why I want it to be also leave up to interpretation. I don't want to give you guys too much, because then it's potentially too similar.
Okay, no, here's what I think. I think over the next couple days, rather than just limiting us to a pose, like, we get our ideas together, and then we ask you for whatever photos that we need, and we'll just go with that. So we'll exercise.
Can we limit how many photos each of you get asked for?
Like two. I think 2 photos that we use, that we could potentially use.
Okay.
Yeah, so we come to you with 2 photos that we want. You give us those photos, and that's it. We're allowed to revise and ask for others, but we only ever get the 2. So if I have the 2 and I'm like, I don't like number 1, I'll replace it. You get 1 replacement. To put it that way.
Okay.
We get
2
one
photos,
replacement,
1 replacement.
and then you trash the one that you're replacing. So I would trash number 1 if I didn't like number 1.
Okay.
I like that rule. All right. And then everything else is whatever assets you can pull together.
Yeah.
That could work.
See, what's stupid is I'm thinking of some ideas that I would love to try, and it would exercise my own artistic muscles, but I'm not allowed to use my drawing pad.
Yeah, because it puts you at an advantage.
Because I stated that as a rule. And I mean, any drawing in Photoshop you can do with mouse and keyboard. It's just my drawing pad makes it so much easier.
Stevin makes proof of that with all my fucking thumbnails.
What'd I do? What?
You make proof of mouse and keyboard.
He gave you a compliment. It was actually pretty genuine. So yeah, so I guess that's the
first one is Dev,
that's
the hero of Seltzer. How you interpret that is on you.
Okay. Yeah, just send us a picture somewhere, and then
we'll ask for I'll do I can do whatever pose or anything you need, especially tomorrow because I have tomorrow.
Yeah, he's
off.
gonna.
He'll do the tomorrow. I will say that. For me.
He'll do the photos for us tomorrow at some point, and then, or for me for sure, because I'll brainstorm tonight and decide what I'm gonna use. But
I definitely need to start figuring out my life, just in general. Now that I don't have times off, it's okay, so I have to figure out a time to edit what I have around my spontaneous scheduling. Around the podcast.
Even if you want, I'll start uploading the critically casuals.
The uploading is not that hard, honestly. It's just actually because there are moments at the end of every day when I'm sitting there in the living room watching something and I'm like, I really have something I could be doing right now.
Yeah, but you need to relax. If you don't genuinely,
yeah,
I was talking to a friend about this. You cannot. We are taught from such a young age to push past so many limits that the only way to be successful is to push past the impossible, which is bullshit, because you need to rest, you need breaks, you need to realize your limits and not always be I need to surpass that limit, because some limits aren't made to be surpassed. Genuinely, that's how burnout and stuff happens. That's been my schedule lately with streaming and stuff. I stream when I feel like I can stream and I want to stream. Which is why I'm trying to get more single player games in there, because that gives me more reason to play for streams and stuff like that. Because there are nights where I'm just everyone else is kind of busy. I might just play nothing. And then I just end up watching videos all night.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is great, just saying.
Might pick that up. I want to pick up Mario All-Stars and play through those again.
Can I make one critique about video game industry when it comes to Vikings?
Sure.
They need to be more original with their titling. It's either Vikings Valhalla or Vikings Ragnarok.
Or let's not forget Vikings.
Yeah. Or name of game Vikings.
Yeah, basically. They just need Vikings are more than Ragnarok and Valhalla and Vikings, man.
To which I will say Assassin's Creed Valhalla does,
and from what I've seen, it keeps things pretty accurate.
Quite nicely too. Yeah, and it's very accurate. It's not horrendously over the top. Even the combat, dude, did you play any or see any of Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
I did not.
Okay, you basically become a human god in that game, with all the combat and stuff that you can do. At some point, the combat just honestly becomes very repetitive. It kind of starts that way, really, but you have greater opportunity of dying because you haven't leveled up any and you don't have good gear.
I always felt like Assassin's Creed combat was repetitive in general, though. All you ever have to do is counter and parry.
So counter and parry was the big thing through Revelations, and then once 3 hit, you had the counter, but it was also it encouraged more aggressive combo hits and stuff,
also
and plus
encouraged distance fighting.
It encouraged distance fighting with the bow. Yeah, with the bow, you could do the rifles. You could do improvised weaponry with bayonet rifles as well.
You
in
could
that
do.
one, which was
You had
nice.
pistols as well.
Yeah, had a pistol.
Blunderbuss. Like you had options with range. Like you had range. It was essentially the Bloodborne of Assassin's Creed,
I won't go that far.
in the sense of how it mixes up the combat. Because like Bloodborne.
In that, okay, so I'll give you that. As in turn, I thought you mean like in terms of difficulty. I'm like,
No,
wow,
no,
you had
I
trouble.
mean in change of in change of combat. Because like Bloodborne allowed range more.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, and the other ones had ranged ways to fight, but that wasn't the way to succeed in those games.
Not very effective. Like especially with like the ranged ways. Like starting in Assassin's Creed 2, like there was only one surefire way to one hit kill an enemy, and that was with the gauntlet gun. Like that was it.
Which
even
took
in Brotherhood,
a while to get.
Yeah, even in Brotherhood, when you had the gun back, which was there was no story thing for that, is you actually could have played through the game and not got that. You'd be dumb to do it, but you could have done it.
He also had 5 bullets too.
They had the crossbow, which sometimes even that wouldn't one hit, and it also was target lock. Like Assassin's Creed 3 introduced the option to headshot somebody.
Yep.
Which is like dumb when you really think about it. It being a revolutionary addition to be able to move the cursor just a bit up.
But it was for the Assassin's Creed franchise.
But there we are. Because it's like, we should really probably make these people do more things for themselves, because their assassin already free runs practically on their own.
But could you imagine if you had to do quick times every time you were fucking free running?
Dude, no, I am not gonna mirror Assassin's Creed. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. There's way too many convenient climbing routes that take forever. Dude, or give you a stamina bar. Like I honestly thought that for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like you would have finally have gotten a stamina bar for climbing.
Legend of Zelda has it. All right.
Yeah.
Real quick, which one do I go to next?
What are the options?
You got Rainier Cherry, Raspberry Cran, Fuji Apple. I feel like Fuji Apple has to be the last because that's the most Washington.
Really? Okay. Then we'll do the Raspberry Cran, I guess.
Conveniently, that was the next easiest one to grab.
There you go. So,
Convenient.
but yeah, and then
Fuji Apple would have been the hardest to get as well. I didn't even realize.
You get Assassin's Creed 3 also lightly introduced gear upgrades and stats for the things, which Assassin's Creed 2 kind of did that, and the others kind of did that, but it wasn't as critical.
Well, in one, it was just seriously, you continue the story and people handed you, here's the upgrade.
Here's the upgrade. Yeah, there was no real like stats ever really mentioned. Like
2 had it with what sword you could have.
Sword, no, so it was sword, dagger, the amount of throwing knives you could carry, the amount of smoke bombs, poison. That was it. Dude, that was another thing. Poison was a one-hit KO. That was another thing you could do. Poison was a one-hit KO that could potentially kill like 10 people if you did it right.
Yeah.
Like, infect a halberd guy and he's just sweeping the thing all over the place. Like, all right, cool.
My work here is done. Plague has been set off. Let's go.
Yeah, really. Simon, I mean, like a plague is the one guy still is the one that has the sickness. He just kills everybody in a sickness-induced fit of hysteria.
Yeah, dude, that thing, like doing that on one of the big guys was so goddamn great.
Yeah, assuming you could get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, I could. I would hit him with a poison and then have a group around the big guy who always had like the halberd, fucking giant axe of some sort, and like, ah! And everyone's like,
and then Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag gave you the option to do that from range. From range, because you got the little blow dart that you can do. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, but dude, you really should play Black Flag. It was actually great.
I did play the piratey one actually. Yeah.
That's
Black Flag.
Yeah, I played Black Flag. Yeah.
Rogue.
That was the last one I finished. Was Black Flag, and then I stopped playing.
Dude, fun fact: I have yet to actually finish Odyssey. Like I tried so hard before Valhalla came out, and then I tried to make myself this little promise of maybe I'll just finish it before Valhalla hits. Valhalla was coming out the next day. I was like, nope. We're not doing it. Not doing that. If I wasn't, no. Let's see. Just come off stupid mandated quarantine. So I was like, I've earned it.
Though you earlier talking about Mirror's Edge and Assassin's Creed, there was a video game that I saw like that not that long ago recently called Ghost Runner, where it's more like Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. I've seen that.
But you're
it's first person, right?
Yes. And you're running around platforming and killing people with your sword, and you have ghost abilities and whatnot.
And it's like, so I'm trying to think of who I've seen do it, but it's like scenario based. Like, if you die, then it starts you over at the beginning of the scenario, and you got to do the whole sequence thing. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not the biggest. Like, it looks cool. It looks very cool. I'm just not the biggest fan of the gameplay of that, where you're stuck in like a scenario kind of thing.
Understandable.
I don't know if that makes any sense. It really depends on like the type of scenario, I guess, because I also love Dynasty Warriors, and that is technically a preset scenario. Like, you go from a menu to fighting, and it's just like, well,
let's go. Yeah.
Speaking of that, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, played the demo. I had fun. Just saying, for you fellow Switch owners, if we ever want a game together, that's another way we could do it, because that was some fun stuff.
Oh, that's something I wanted to talk about this podcast, was freaking
the Switch?
Consoles. No, that too, yes.
Oh, just consoles in general?
Because PS5 and Xbox One comes out.
Right.
Everyone's talking, I gotta get this.
Yeah, and people lose their shit.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here very much feeling myself out like, man, do I want to get a new console? I mean, kinda. Will I have a reason for these new consoles? I don't know. Like, I barely even play the console I do have. I mostly spend my time on Minecraft nowadays. So who knows? And then I think more things like, what if I just get a Switch? The Switch is cheaper. It's has
honestly,
a lot more
Stevin,
games
the Switch
out.
would be perfect for you.
Yeah, and then
would be.
And then I think, well, if I'm going to be spending an egregious amount of money, even though $200 isn't a lot of money, why not just save that money to either get something like a better monitor so I could actually use that super awesome graphics that everyone keeps talking about, or get a brand new camera for even more money and actually get like a 4K camera for personal use. Yes, Dev
has a question.
So you were gonna buy a Switch Lite?
No.
You said $200.
Just the price I saw the other day.
You gotta go up to 300 for Switch.
A good, a real Switch.
And I'll be honest, I debated for a while between Switch and Switch Lite, because I don't like using the TV that I have down here. One, because it's kind of a quarter of the way broke now, I think. And Star has her Switch hooked up to the TV usually most of the time. So I was like, maybe I'll just get a Switch Lite. And then I kind of thought about it. I was like, you know what? No, I like having the option that if I wanted to, I could go and I could do that. And not only that, but you know, just have the Joy-Cons when we go to one console and me and her want to play Mario together or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's 100% it. Like, having the option is why I have a Switch. Because I bought my Switch after the Switch Lite was announced. I was like, no, I'm getting a Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only way.
So we got a Switch Lite, and I question the decision to this day.
Well, see, if I had a second, if I was getting a second one, I'd get a Switch Lite, right? Because
I'm sorry, that's a side note. So this is the relationship me and Star have. Is she heard me talk about her. She walked down. I asked her what she needed. She's like, "No, I just heard you talk about me. Just making sure you weren't talking shit."
Oh, that's perfect.
Just figured I'd share that.
Fair. That is good reasoning.
Little nugget with you guys. Yeah.
No, like if I got a second one, it would be my travel thing that I would bring with me. Like, I'd have a strictly I'm on airplanes, like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild playthrough kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, that makes plane rides go so much faster.
dude, it really does.
Like Breath of the Wild specifically. Oh man, that was such a good idea.
Do so much in Breath of the Wild.
Dude, especially because like when I fired it up, you know, we're on the first plane. I was like, all right, I'm not rushing. We're gonna go find some shrines. We're gonna go cook some stuff. I mean, we're gonna do all this. And man, just flights just go like that, just super quick.
And that's what that would be for. It would be my offline play, or like me laying, like it would be the one that I have by my bed and occasionally play when I'm laying down, kind of thing. Like something that like it's me detached from everything here, right? Nothing involved with that. None of the mentality of I've got to be entertaining at the same time. It's just me going like, I can, because like that's one thing. So for me, it's why when I played Skyrim, I didn't want to do a stealth run. Stealth runs are not entertaining to watch.
Stealth runs, so it depends how you do it. Like stealth runs could be entertaining, but for the player, they're not fun.
Oh,
at least
player,
to me,
I love it.
for me as a player. No, well, hear me out. Is because I think the way to actually make it entertaining would be to jack up the difficulty.
Fair.
And the thing is, I love Skyrim, but I never went hardcore with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I always kept it on like the D. I think I took it one tick above the default difficulty. That was it. Because at some point, when you're a two-handed warrior and you're coming real close, and then eventually just one-shotting the dragons, you're like, this needs to be harder.
I don't know what you mean. Me running around with Luthrad was never like that.
I may be Dovahkiin, but technically I'm still mortal, and I need to feel like it for just a minute. So I did one just because I was like, yeah, let's run Luthrad. Why not?
OP as fucking shit.
It's kind of broke, yeah, dude.
Because it levels up so well. It's better than, it's faster than using any of the hammers, and it's stronger than any of your axes that you can have. I mean, some of the swords do more, are faster, but at a certain point, if you fully upgrade Luthrad, at that point, the only thing any other like big two-hand sword has on it in the game, regardless of what you're using, is just speed. And then
that's it.
But then at that point, I'm like, what amount of speed am I truly sacrificing?
You're not sacrificing much, and that's the thing too. It's like you're literally like, I love the so when I played Skyrim like a lot, like my aesthetic, my like Dream Warrior was always like the two-handed, like the sword. I've looked from looks wise, like I love the swords better. Funny enough, in Valhalla, I'm dual wielding axes and not complaining though. But you know, tastes change over time, I suppose.
Well, that was like with me with my stealth run. I always I'd occasionally run dual daggers with my stealth character, because my melee would be dual daggers, or dagger and sword, and then I'd be archer all the fucking time. Yeah, archer. Like if you run stealth, you have to be archer. Like, come on. Oh, 100%. Because you get that fucking It's so stupid how overpowered archery is when you're a stealth character.
I did recently. I was at my sister's place just some months back. I don't remember exactly what I was waiting for, but I remember just kind of sitting there being bored, and my brother-in-law wasn't around. So I was like, I want to play Skyrim on his PS4. So I was playing Skyrim, and I started running a Spellblade build, like from early game. So destruction magic in left hand and melee weapon in the right. And you know, that works out. That works surprisingly well even in early game.
Yeah.
Dude, what's really difficult early game is when you go pure magic early game.
Yes. I never actually have done a melee user in Skyrim, because don't like how squishy you are when you first start. So you run out there, you get hit once or twice, you're almost dead, run away, have to shove your food in your mouth, run back, get hit once or twice, run away, shove some food in your mouth. Like, I didn't think that was
What kind of
entertaining.
character you're playing that you're that squishy?
I don't fucking know,
well,
man.
the better question is also what difficulty, because, man, so I tried hardest difficulty once in Skyrim. I stress once to see how it would go. Man, you can't get away with nothing.
Like, for me, my favorite playthrough actually was the magic, like spells only, pure magic type build. But then it gets way too easy once you unlock the dual casting knockback achievement, because then you can one-on-one somebody. Like, I would do this constantly. I'd go around and I'd clear all of the minion mobs using like my super magic, and then I'd one-on-one the mega boss, just fireball, and like 5 minutes later of him going ugh, I'd win. That'd be the whole thing,
dude. Number one, if you're using, that's why I personally preferred Thunderbolt.
Use Thunderbolt.
I always thought Thunderbolt was way more satisfying. And then, of course, you pick all the perks that give you extra lightning damage. And they're going, but not near as many times, because they did. Dude, I did, back on the 360, I had a file for my melee build, who was a Nord. Two-handed sword was what I eventually got him in. Had a rogue, who was a Khajiit. Dual daggers and a bow. And then my pure magic guy was... I think I ended up actually using a dark elf for that one.
See,
because I liked the flame cloak at the beginning.
I went with a Nord for my first real run through, and it was the stealth run through. And the reason I did it was because I wanted a challenge, because I know the Nords aren't made for that.
No, they're really not. They're not made for magic either.
But I
only ever really played Argonians, so.
You and my brothers both. Everyone, they're fucking Argonian. I think didn't Joe play Argonian too?
Maybe.
So I actually have an Argonian in Elder Scrolls Online, and this is kind of funny to me. Tori, if you look at a lot of the Argonian names, you know, it's like some of it is based on occupation or experience. So like mine is tries to heal. Because I leveled it as I'm trying to level it as a healer. Was trying to level it as a healer. Zos keeps destroying the game, and I keep leaving it.
What do you mean? MMOs never do that.
I was actually thinking about this recently.
Hmm.
How many MMOs, like big name MMOs, have come out since Skyrim?
Since Skyrim? So can't count WoW. So hang on.
Maybe not. Well, okay, sorry. I meant RPG, not MMO. My apologies.
Oh, RPGs?
Yeah, switching back gears for a second.
So Skyrim was released in 2011.
Are we going to count the other Elder Scrolls releases? Because we would have to count Fallout.
Yeah. I mean, that could count too. The only other game that I could...
is like, so RPGs that don't have a MMO tag, or like what are you talking
like
about?
I'm thinking of games specifically like Skyrim and Fallout, and where they're like, because I try to think of, on occasion I like to think of trends. I don't know why,
right?
But it's like back in the 90s it was all about platforming. In the early 2000s it was arcade games, and yada blah blah blah. And each year there's a different trend in something or another. And I honestly can't remember, other than the Outer Worlds, the Obsidian RPG game. Like, I can't remember any other game similar to that. Coming out soon would be maybe Cyberpunk, but like,
so you're also talking like first person, kind of RPG too.
It doesn't really have to be first person. Like
Okay.
with Skyrim, you can go third person, but
You could. All right. Well, so like with that, just because I kind of Googled, because I got you as far as some of this goes. So Skyrim 2011 release. We have Witcher 3.
Yep.
okay,
2015 release.
that
We have
counts.
Horizon Zero Dawn 2017. Outer World was 2019. You had at this point the Assassin's Creed series went a turn for the RPG route. So we
Was
had
Breath of the
Origins.
Wild considered RPG, or was it just considered? Yeah. Okay.
No, I think it was RPG.
Because it was.
Well,
It's like RPG light.
RPG-esque, yeah.
Yeah, I would
I'll count
consider
it.
It's RPG Seltzer.
I would almost consider it similar to Mass Effect.
I hate you.
That's the title of this episode.
I
RPG
hate you.
Seltzer.
Oh, speaking of, since Skyrim, Mass Effect Andromeda release date was 2017. Origins was 2017. Odyssey, I think, was 2019.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Cyberpunk coming out next year. Which, by the way, indefinitely, finally, and I called this.
Oh, hang on, sorry. Mass Effect 3 release date 2012.
Yes, that's true.
So after Skyrim. So cool, it counts.
It was before. The thing is, RPGs, their phase was early.
I was about to say, I feel like RPGs should be more popular now that gaming has gotten better and consoles have gotten better.
The problem is that creating a good functioning RPG is hard because people want an open world RPG. The problem with that is you can't do too much with it.
Yep.
You have to like
file sizes.
No, well, like not only with that, we're talking strictly player experience. Like you can't do too much because people won't finish the damn game.
Yeah.
Hence why I haven't finished Odyssey, honestly.
Well, and also why and the stuff you have them do cannot be repetitive, boring nonsense. Which is why Breath of the Wild, I know we're calling it the RPG Seltzer now, but that works because you go around doing stuff around the map that you see on your way to your next destination. That's why Skyrim works, that's why Fallout usually works. Emphasis on usually because it's kind of had a couple hiccups.
So
why Mass Effect 3 works?
Mass Effect 3 wasn't really open world though.
It was open exploration though.
It was open exploration, and what's nice about it is the open exploration did yield more results than the other parts of the series kind of did. I will appreciate 2 for the sending of the probes for the resources though, because that was just grindy enough to be satisfying, and I'm like, I'll need these resources in the future. And then all the ship upgrades became available. I'm like, yep, buying that.
I don't know, I prefer not having to fucking go to every planet and go send another probe, send another probe, send another probe.
If you find you don't waste your time with moderate, you just find the rich ones and you're good.
Yeah. But even then, it's like I should just be able to send a probe and then shoot a thing. Like I have X amount of drills per stop at the Citadel.
Yeah.
For it. I don't know. Personal opinion. But again, we digress. I mean, me and Jay both agree that the Mako's the best vehicle. So, I mean, we're allowed to disagree on other stuff in the series. Because the Mako is the best vehicle. But Stevin didn't even fucking react to it. Damn it.
No, he's not a Mass Effect 3. He's not a Mass Effect fan.
No, I am. I've played all the Mass Effect games.
Are you? Oh.
Yeah. I've played every. Like, don't get me wrong. I just don't overreact about games that I like. Don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't played in a long time. I love Mass Effect.
That's fair. There are a lot of games. Yeah, okay, I get it. Because there are a lot of games that I really enjoyed that I haven't played in a long time that I also can't react on anymore. But Mass Effect was just one of these things that was like very passionate about for a very long time.
I had a hat. I had an N7 hat for like a long time before like a friend's dog chewed it up.
I'd be so mad.
I was upset, but it's whatever.
I wonder if you can find N7 merch anywhere anymore.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I've looked at getting a
might get
jacket
it.
multiple times.
Really? Like the
I would
shepherd,
fucking
the
rock a
shepherd
shepherd
jacket from.
jacket.
Oh man.
Or a hoodie, or the hoodie style too.
Oh yeah.
The hoodie from 3. I'd rock
I think
that.
I'd wear the jacket more. People would question. I think people would question that less, honestly.
Either or, you're gonna
From
get questioned.
me.
I did see, so like I wasn't wearing the hat at the time, but when I worked at Smith's, I saw someone walk in with an N7 hoodie, and I was like, "Yo, nice hoodie," and they looked at me like, "Yeah,
Yep.
it is." And as they walked, I'm like, "Ah."
So my favorite. So I had that. It was like blatant fandom. It was one of the T-shirts that had like the entire roster that you accumulate through Mass Effect 3 on the front. And somebody came into the information center that day. That was on one of the days I was working at the park, and I was like, it's a good series, man. And this kid was like, dude, it's awesome. Yada yada. So it was always nice being in a freaking state park uniform, and then you point out to people that you actually play video games, and they're like, oh, really?
Yeah. Because people look at you as your job at that moment. They don't see you. They don't think about the fact that you do stuff outside of work.
So 1 year in particular, that wasn't necessarily true for me because I spent a lot of time on that park. Like when I wasn't working, I was there. I was taking pictures, or I was doing whatever, like kind of honing my photography craft a little bit, or just honestly just being bored and just kind of hanging out with people. But it got to the point to where they saw me at the park so often that they would regularly tell me to go home, like my coworkers would. And in fact, it got to the point one time that I actually clocked in for work. Like I was scheduled to work that day. I was on the schedule. I got down to the welcome center after I clocked in, and they're like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "I'm actually supposed to be here today. Leave me alone."
Back in the gaming, to get back to one thing real quick before I go too far away from it, I did call Cyberpunk getting delayed again.
You did.
Because I believe did they say that they're indefinite now, or did I misremember that?
No, it's December. I think it's December still.
Oh, I thought I saw something say indefinite.
Oh, I imagine there's an article floating around.
Or was I misled?
December 10th.
Oh.
December 10 is the stated release date right now, according to Google.
I was misled. Never mind. It was probably all right. Well, someone faked it really well.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like, of course someone's gonna fake it, because that's just such a source of drama right now.
But did you guys see the Run the Jewels video? I don't know if you guys listened to Run the Jewels. Nope. Run the Jewels is really good. They did the music for the trailer for Black Panther, which means I know nice. Steven doesn't know who they are, because he doesn't watch trailers.
Nope.
But they came out with an album recently, but they're also doing part of the music for Cyberpunk 2077, which is pretty cool. No, I like their music, and they just came out with a video for it, so I'm like, rad. Speaking of music, tangent time. I saw Jim post about retweet this. Monster Cat and Twitch are teaming up to bring fast track affiliate status for Monster Cat Gold subscribers. Gold provides thousands of songs to users in your live streams. As an affiliate, Twitch unlocks monetization tools for your channel. So if you're paying for Monster Cat Gold, apparently you can, after a month of using it, you can get affiliate.
Okay.
Huh.
And I've seen the argument more and more lately of not becoming an affiliate and just waiting until you can become partner.
Here's what. So I'm torn on this, honestly, because on the one hand, it's like I don't know. I was proud enough of affiliate status when I got it but at the same time, kind of looking back on it, I was like, yeah, it doesn't really mean nothing anymore.
Now, maybe. I don't know. For me, because I got it like the week it was announced. So like that was when it was harder to get, in a sense.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing, and I got it when it was easier. It's kind of the thing for me.
I wouldn't necessarily call it easy. It's just that like the bar isn't extremely high. But at this point, my problem with this more is that it's taking advantage of smaller creators.
Yeah.
Because those
like,
creators,
what was the thing on it? Like,
you have to pay for Monster Cat Gold, and after a month you can apply for affiliate.
Monster Cat. So what exactly is Monster Cat anyway? Like
Music
in a nutshell. So it's just
empowering
copyright.
empowering a creative and passionate community through innovation, community, curiosity, attentive, integrity. They do music.
Okay, so in other words, like this whole copyright-free solution.
Yes.
Is so you pay. Okay, so to everyone watching, to everyone listening, Harris Heller, Stream Beats, copyright-free music.
They're
this
already
guy
listening.
Wrote, produced. Yeah, good, perfect, great.
That's what I use for this show.
I didn't know. I normally don't listen to.
Yeah, that's fair. You don't hear what I'm hearing. I just have a little bit of background music playing, and it's his lo-fi beats.
Perfect, great, guys. Like these are great tracks. He has different genres that he keeps coming out with. Like there are. So that's the problem. Is a lot of. I would say a lot. I will say some people's problem with the whole copyright music thing and why they're affected is quite honestly it's because they're lazy. Like you put zero effort into research. And again, that's only some. That's definitely not all. Like, especially when you've changed. Like that's the part that really bugs me. Is like when you've changed how you're doing your content, and it's like, hey, you need to delete stuff that's in the past, or you now get ousted.
Yeah, that part pissed me off because Ava GG, I don't know if you guys follow her. She was banned for 4 days for content from years ago. And that day she was texting her her editor being like, hey, we should probably get these downloaded real quick and edit some of this so that we can get it out at some point too. But we need to do that. And as she was having that conversation, the ban went live. And she texted her, like, well, speak of the devil, and she was banned. My big problem with it is that, like, the big problem with the DMCA thing is that Twitch wasn't strict on it for years.
No, they were negligent.
100%.
They were very negligent, and it's just one of these things where it was just like, and Harris also did a video on this, and essentially like he essentially calls them liars in their statement because they're like, this is just as surprising or whatever, and he's like, if this is actually true, this is terrifying. If this is true, it's just as big of a surprise for us as it is for you, because it's like, no, like you knew you had to do, and I 100% agree. You knew, you swept it under the rug, and hey, guess what? Apparently, so they either, and Twitch started going further and further. He kind of talked about this too. He goes into a little bit like, you hosted concerts, right? You streaming concerts and all this other stuff. And you're not doing everything you need to do on the corporate side of things, and it's just like, no, like they don't moderate their stuff.
No. Well, look at them compared, and I hate saying this. The first one I'm okay comparing to, which is YouTube. Look at them compared to YouTube. YouTube is strict as hell about copyright. They also do pay for people to be able to do parodies, though, and covers. Mm-hmm. They make sure that that's available on their platform because that's got to be, because it's a form of art.
But of course, they also make it clear to the content creators that, listen, you have to state basically what this is.
Yes.
And do things appropriately on your end, we'll do appropriate on our end. And it took them a while to get there.
Yes. But Twitch has had a long time too. And then compare this to Facebook Gaming, which has bought the licensing to use certain labels' music.
Yep.
If you're behind Facebook Gaming, there's a problem.
Dude, not only that, I actually didn't know this about
Also
Facebook Gaming.
That's actually charity.
That's very impressive, actually. And honestly, man, dude,
it's Amazon. Amazon has Amazon Music. How hard is it to integrate Amazon Music into Twitch? You've integrated everything else. And the other thing too is they're getting rid of Twitch Sings. There are people who made their careers on Twitch with Twitch Sings, who were discovered through Twitch Sings.
Yep.
The fact that the tone deaf fucking, and this isn't the person who talked, who had the talking notes fault. I can't remember their name, but the one who talked during GlitchCon. This isn't his fault. This is the notes that he was given's fault. No one proofread this and went, maybe we shouldn't put it. Saying that this has been a big year for Twitch with music.
Dude.
What?
So, and not only that, but several days in a row after GlitchCon went down, I keep seeing increasingly stupider tweets from Twitch. Hey, let's put out. And what's funny is that it's not working if this is the plan, which I kind of feel like it is. Hey, let's just keep putting out stuff and make it sound more positive and more positive and more positive. But literally every post that Twitch has put out recently is flooded with DMCA stuff. I mean, flooded with it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's I commented on one and was just I was going to comment here, but everybody else seems to be doing just fine, so I'm just going to leave it.
I mean, that's the thing. It's just you're owned by one of the, if not the biggest company out there right now. Fucking Amazon.
It's one of the biggest companies that continually bleeds money.
They bleed but don't. They have spots that hemorrhage, but they have other parts of them that are so bandaged up that the hemorrhage doesn't matter because it bleeds into that and for some reason recycles back into them.
That's gross.
It's gross, but that's the best way to describe Amazon's money. Because
what's funny
how much
is
money,
their own CEO went on record at one point, and I don't remember when it is, and I don't remember how many years this person said it would happen. But they're yeah, we'll probably go bankrupt in this amount of time.
Wow. Bullshit.
So their reasoning is apparently with their shipping process, it's apparently ludicrous. What all goes into that. And I'm just
still, I call it bullshit.
I've heard several. Yeah, I kind of do too. But I've heard several people kind of talk about it, and it's kind of the different people kind of saying the same thing. It's is this a matter of mismanagement or what's going on here? Is it too big that it can't really regulate itself? I don't really know.
Well, the problem with it, my thing about it is that they are not hemorrhaging money because Prime they get a lot of money from because everyone fucking has it. 2, it's their really disgusting practices of seeing what people are selling through small store fronts on there, seeing if there's upticks, and then creating that item themselves if they can for cheaper. So let's say on there, let's say someone's selling customized really cool or different really cool designed coasters, okay? Because that's what they do. And they make really cool those stone coasters. The stone coasters that had the cowboy symbols and stuff on it. It had the cowboy on the horse with the my mom was really into cowboys, so this is where I'm going with it. And she had a lot of coasters, so that she had tons of different coaster collections. So imagine you're a small business person who sells coasters, and then Amazon comes along, has a cheaper method, pays people less, and has its massive distributing abilities, and sells a product that is maybe not entirely on the exact same par as yours, but is close enough that people are going to buy it because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
You sell your, like, let's say 4 coaster pack for $20, they sell theirs for $13. Amazon profits. I don't know. It's just, it like, they don't hemorrhage money. It's bullshit. They hemorrhage money on things like Twitch because of their practices. But even then, I doubt they hemorrhage that much because of the amount of money that people make through subs and bits.
Yeah.
Like, go to fucking Tim's channel. You go to Tim the Tatman's channel, they're making profit off of that. So I don't even think they lose money on Twitch even with their practices. With bits and subs.
They might start now because...
I mean, I don't blame them. It's gotten to the point where I've, like, and I haven't debated this over the entire time I've been streaming, of, do I turn off my affiliate?
Like, so here's the thing with it is, yeah, I had a friend who is not a content creator himself. He's just a guy I game with some, and he was like, yeah, do you have a Patreon or something like that? I was like, no. Okay, I'll give you a follow, but I don't like giving Twitch money, so, like, you know, get a Patreon or get merch or stuff, and, like, I'll buy that. I'll support you that way.
I mean, we've talked about doing Patreon for this.
That way you get the money and then all this other stuff. So I don't know, but to be, like, it's pretty well implied that I'm done with streaming for the foreseeable future on Twitch. Yeah. But like, just seeing the state of things and how they continue to progress. Like, number one is I'm, as far as like any of my opinions on it, like very few people outside of this group would care about my opinion on it, and I'm fine with it. But still, yet to just go back and willingly partake in this ever-growing, to me, stupidity is just, it's just not worth it to me. It's not worth it to me because, number one, I'm not established enough to have an investment in this.
Yeah.
And so I have the freedom to say that.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's, you know, the people that, and there's a section of the internet that's yelling, is like, why aren't these bigger streamers doing this or that? Which basically involves them quitting Twitch. And I'm like, boys and girls, that's their job. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what they do to make money, like actual living money. Like, this is not something that they treat as their job and really just have no life. This is actually a job. Like, their 8 to 5 is literally this.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like, with, like, for me, like, the reason why I've been thinking about it is because, if you get to the point where your partner, there's the ability to negotiate terms.
Yeah.
Because if they want you as a partner, because that's the other thing too, is getting to a point where they want you as partner. Because like, I don't know if I might apply, like, because partner, you get a few more benefits, stuff like that. But strictly looking at it now, as an affiliate, what do you get more out of it than other people? That would be community, quote unquote, based. Like, if you go to a convention, you have community badges. And, like, yeah, it's one more source of revenue. Sure. But half of that revenue is split with Amazon. And it's not even always a 50-50 either. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Debatable.
Not only that, but you also don't get any of it until you hit, like, you have $100 accrued during the pay period, and then you get it.
Well, that was, like, for me, like, I didn't, like, what, like my payments from Twitch are so sporadic.
Yep.
Well, I had one through September. And I might get another one this year, but like it's so like it's so intermediate just because of like the ebbs and flows of doing this stuff that you never know when the next time you might like hit a point where people are like not necessarily throwing money at you, but like wanting to support you. And honestly, a more direct way to support people is through just tipping. And I'm switching my rhetoric, by the way. I'm switching it to tipping because it's not a donation. It is a tip in the best way to put it. Because it's the best way to put it is because you're essentially doing a job. It's a hobby, but you're getting paid a tip for doing it.
And it's like, well, and also, I mean, in the real basic thing, like entertainment is a service.
Yeah.
And people are paying because they enjoy the service. So hey, cool, yeah, leave a tip if you enjoyed. Thanks. If not, no big deal. Yeah, honestly, I never much thought about that, but you're absolutely right, and that is definitely a decision that I agree with, and should in the future, would I ever start something again, I would adopt that as well.
Yeah, well, that's why like when I'm asking someone to kind of redo my panels and stuff like that because I want to kind of do a little bit of not necessarily a rebrand, but just some revival to some stuff. And I need to redo my panels anyways. But like I'm gonna change it to being tip instead of donation because it's a different term. Like donation is like if I'm doing a charity stream, 100% donation. That's what that is. That is donating to a cause. While just like if it's going directly to me, that's more of a tip. Because I'm not a cause. I'm an individual that is creating content, and if you want to pay for it, I'm creating free content. If you want to tip for the free content, you tip. Which is why I've also like over the last like 6 months a bit too, I've kind of changed my mindset on Patreon and stuff like that has changed a little bit too. Like I understand I've always been the kind of person who it's like, but I don't want certain people to feel locked out of the community by doing that stuff. But I've also thought about it from other points, and it's like you're not necessarily locking people out of a community. You're just giving stuff to the people who want to give to you.
Yeah, like you're giving. Well, you're giving back to those who give to you.
Which is like what post shows and stuff are for, in my opinion. Like post shows are the perfect thing for that kind of stuff. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Or like if me and Stevin did like hey, we're watching this movie, you can add our full experience of us watching it, whatever how many hours long that is. Enjoy. Stuff like that. Like that's extra. That'd be like supplementary content to what we do normally. Because what we normally do is we review movies, we talk about random shit. That is the two things we do the most. So my thought process has been like, if we create a Patreon, it would definitely be this show gets a post show, and Critically Casual gets something bonus that works for that, which would maybe be me and Steven doing the, hey, this movie this week is the one that we chose to watch together, so you can listen to us watching that.
Oh Lord,
that would
just our commentary.
Listen, it's funny when we're watching it sometimes. Especially if we were watching it with the intent of also making it funny. I think that'd be great.
You'd have to definitely have that intent with it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that would be what that would be for. It would be us riffing off of the movie. But like, me and Steven have talked about doing that for a while. It's just how we want to do that is just the question. I feel like at this point, it would be a Patreon thing if we get Patreon set up. Because that would be the only... Because I don't see that being... Like, it's not something that's viable on YouTube for us because we don't have the licensing to do those. Like, if we did on YouTube, we would need the video, which wouldn't really work if you're you can't do that.
We can't do it.
So
Yeah, can't do it, Jim.
Impossible.
we would like honestly a version of it where it's not the movie's not shown to us, like shown on the video, but it's a private video that people who have the Patreon have access to. That works. I don't know. It's stuff that I've thought about with, especially with how Twitch has been, especially the last month. Because like DMCA like has changed Twitch. Because like the fact that like I'm questioning my ability to do Rock Band anymore. And I know I didn't do Rock Band a ton.
Yeah, with Rock Band nowadays, like every song is muted basically.
Yeah.
You get the intro and the outro.
Well, and that's the thing, like, and that's why, like, I would, at this point, it'd be easier for me just to record that segment of the stream and send it to you. 'Cause then you can edit it how you want. Like, you can edit my parts where you can hear me going, well, I fucked up, and stuff like that.
I made that a point in one of the highlight videos where I put,
I saw, yeah.
yeah, it's a rare unmuted fuck up. Oh, yes. Something I can make fun of.
During a Rock Band stream. And I mean, like, and I get that, like, I'm fine with them muting the segments of the streams. That's fine for Twitch. I wish there was a way to get a unmuted version. That was sus. Is that you, Mints? I think that's Mints.
Was that?
Yeah, that's Mints. Yo,
Was that
Mints,
an
what
Among
up?
Us?
Oh.
Condom ad on Twitch. Oh.
Yeah, well, I do put us. Hey, I do put us on the. I did put us on the mature audiences only. So, whatever. I'm cool with it. Safe sex is good sex, kids. But my thing with the DMCA is just like it's changed how I have to approach Twitch. Like. I don't know if I can do Rock Band going forward because it's just like I don't see the point of risking it. And I like Rock Band. It's part of my fucking aesthetic in the background. Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and it's one of these things where I would definitely not. Like, well, so I'm just curious. So just real quick, if I was to go to browse. I'll just do Rock Band just to see. Yeah, reasonably certain that there were more people at one point that would stream this, but there's Rock Band 4 on Twitch right now. 47 viewers.
Well, and that's the thing.
So,
like,
now,
I don't stream it.
If we do like Guitar Hero. Because I don't know, every so often Guitar Hero has like these insane people that like do.
They were planning on getting rid of Twitch things, Bunny.
Oh,
really?
really?
Like they had. Well, yeah, they made that announcement a while ago. They were like, it was. I think it was.
Yeah, no.
It
We
was
have
after
maybe
the
a
first wave
collective.
DMCA's, but it was before this current wave. What had happened is that they were like, we can put our music money elsewhere. Continue, Jay. Sorry.
Well, so I was like, and there's a collective of 10 brave people streaming Guitar Hero right now. Like, we're talking Guitar Hero 3 and just the first Guitar Hero. I didn't bother looking at the others because I think yeah.
I mean, it's just like, how do you do it now? Like,
oh, I need to look somebody up now. There was a guy I used to watch who all he did was this kind of stuff. So.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you have people like one of the people that I first started watching on Twitch was Phantomace, who used to do a lot of drum streams.
Dude, yeah. You told me about this guy.
Yeah. How do you do that now? How do people like I can't remember her name,
so,
Laura
like,
something. She does piano streams.
Okay, so like for stuff like that. So this is the part that really you obviously, so I don't know, I'll admit the intricacies of playing a cover and doing all this other stuff with that. Like I say, like you're actually playing the music, but it's a cover. Like on the regular thing, like there was like things that you could like do to protect yourself with it. And I think with some of these like bigger music streamers, like surely they would have had to, because whether or not Twitch is doing it, they do, like they perform themselves, and so they would have to. I feel like they would have had to have done something already. Like these people who like have a lot of viewers, like with music, is what I'm saying.
I just posted a stream clip of one of my favorite streamers who does only Guitar Hero. Like, he was the 2012 world champion Guitar Hero player type thing.
Yeah.
Or some playing out. And it's a clip of him playing Guitar Hero with
Muted?
the song audio muted.
And you hear him breathing and stuff like that, and it's like
yeah. So yeah, he has the computer, like the keyboard, the guitar thing still going, and he has all the effects, just no in-game music. So you hear the lightning bolts, you hear the
wait.
And it's just keyboard clicking.
Yeah, I saw that clip earlier. It's a good clip.
That's
and
the
it's
future of Twitch.
Yeah, essentially. Oh, it's a different one, but I saw someone else do that. But yeah, that's essentially what it's gonna be, man. It sucks. Like that's my problem with
Twitch.
Because
Twitch didn't take care of their stuff. Like,
well, Rock Band is such a fun thing for me to do because it's such like I can involve the community with that, with like the whole the set lists and stuff like that. I can do with that. Yeah. Because I can play a song, and I can have them vote on the next song out of the options that are left, or they can pay the channel points and pay for a song that they want from the list of songs that I have. So like, it's a really fun way to involve the community in some way. But like, now I don't know how to go about doing that anymore. I mean, I could do them on YouTube instead, but not everyone follows me on YouTube, A. And B, it's just like, would I really do YouTube streaming just to do Rock Band? Would that be what I would do over there? Is that a viable choice for me? The answer is probably not. But it's just, it's one of those things. It's just like, it's part of why I'm questioning being a Twitch affiliate again. It's like, do I really want Twitch to make money off of me? When A, if people want to pay money for what I do, I can set up ways for them to do that. That A, the money goes more directly to me, and B, they are like, like Twitch and their current way of doing things doesn't profit from that, and instead hurts from that. Because like, again, with the whole fucking Monster Cat Gold affiliate thing, that's taking advantage of small streamers 100%. With the fact that like small streamers, like before Stevin was affiliate, that would be like Steven's size before he hit affiliate.
I mean, I would still consider myself a stall streamer now.
Yeah. I mean, we're growing streamers. That's the term. But I wouldn't even consider it pay to win. You pay to lose. Buddy, it's pay to lose because you're not gonna make money off of it in the grand scheme. Because if you're smaller than what an affiliate requires, which means smaller than 3 average viewers, lower lower than 50 followers, and I think it's 20 hours of streaming, or is it 12? I think it's 12 or 20.
I don't know, honestly.
I think it's 12 and then 25 for partner. Might be that. For like the last 30 days. Hey, you're honestly not making money off of Twitch yet anyways. At that point.
I still haven't, in the 3 or 4 years that I've been streaming, I still haven't gotten a single check from Twitch. I have not made $100 yet with these guys. And I mean, that being said, I have barely streamed. Like, lately I've been like, all right, I need to come up with a day where at least I stream 1 day a week, personally, other than the HarHar stuff.
Yeah, and that's fair. And like, again, like my thought process on it is more that like being like streaming stuff for me, I try to look at as more of my outlet hobby thing. And I don't look at it as something that's going to need to profit. The fact that like this year I'm looking at potentially 2 payouts is awesome. But like Twitch made how much money off of me during those 2 payouts that like I could have set up other ways that I could have made money elsewhere. And this isn't me looking at like I need to make money from streaming. Making money from streaming for me right now is a bonus because I have a job that pays me enough that I can afford where I live. All that. It's just it's able to pay me to pay Stevin to edit videos. And B, like, if, let's say that week, I'm a little bit tighter than I like, then, oh, hey, I got a payout. Cool. But at the same time, it's almost easier to be like, oh, hey, I got a tip this week. From, like, let's say Monster over my chat tipped. Because he's the one who uses that the most out of most people. And that goes directly to either A, me be able to take it off of Streamlabs and put it directly on my card, or PayPal and me be able to directly put that on my card. Like, I get that immediately. Like, as soon as I end stream, I can go like, hey, I can get that today or tomorrow, depending on how I want to do it. Like, do I want to pay like 50 cents and get it today? Sure, whatever. Or do I want to wait till tomorrow? Sure, whatever. Depends on what's going on at the time. But it's just like with affiliate, like I've been an affiliate since it came out. So since like April of 17, I think. So that's when I got affiliates. I have maybe had a total of, I think I had 2 payouts the first year, 2 or 3 payouts the second year, 2 payouts last year, and maybe 2 payouts this year. Is that worth me putting money into a company that doesn't care about what I'm doing as much?
The answer is no.
Exactly. That's my thought process lately.
The answer would be no, honestly. Like, let's just assume for a minute that Twitch didn't do a god-awful job and we weren't, and it wasn't in the state that it was in with the DMCA or DCMA. No, to me, it still would not be worth it.
No,
because to be just really honest and fair about it, is like the people on Twitch that I would say have ever cared anything about me. Like, number 1, 2 of them are currently on this video call.
And the third one is Dragon.
The third one is Dragon.
well, I mean, there's Jim and Blue.
And Jim and like the HarHar crew, and like, you know, when I was streaming regularly, I had some regular viewers that would come in, and it was awesome. But like the sense of anyone caring about anything about me was something that Twitch itself did not give me.
Exactly.
Like, and so to invest into something that is like, hey, this will be a thing, like, no, honestly.
And that's been my thought process lately. Like, as more time has passed, I'm like, is being an affiliate worth it? I can't post stuff immediately the day after onto YouTube. Not that I'm ever doing that, but the option to do that would be great because it would give me the option myself to like.
Is that?
That's a rule.
Sorry, is that actually something with Twitch?
Yeah,
because I see people who aren't partners post the very next day all the time.
As affiliates?
Yes.
They're not supposed to. It's against contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your contract is 24 hours. You have to wait 24 hours to post stuff elsewhere. So,
and that's for like stuff that you've made
on Twitch.
Like if you streamed it then you wait 24 hours. But if
Yeah.
you do something that's a straight to YouTube thing that never went,
It's why our schedule for YouTube used to be 2 days.
like they can't,
because
they can't control stuff. They can't control stuff that you do just in post.
So
Yeah.
I picked 2 days because it gave me time to edit and upload.
No, I picked
it
2
works
days.
out.
Because
It works out. But
it was that it gave us, because there was no point of uploading a podcast video on YouTube at 5:36 p.m. No one's gonna watch it that late. They're gonna watch it later. So that's why we would do the 2 days later. But it would be nice to be able to just get done with this show, right? And just real quick after
Say,
the
hey,
show, I can
here it
upload
is.
it real quick, schedule it for tomorrow at noon.
yeah, there's a potentially dangerous subject that I would kind of like to talk about in regards to that, but I don't feel that feisty yet, so I'm not gonna I won't go there.
Well,
Need a few more drinks before we get there.
For the record, I'm stone cold sober. The closest thing to alcohol tonight is
It's
not
water.
alcohol at all. I
Dr.
get a
Pepper.
pop. I have
oh yeah, you're
I've
from
only
you're from that area of the country. You say pop.
pop soda. I'll say them both, but normally pop is usually what'll slip out. But I've only had one today, and so this is my second for like the whole day, which is like a big
Ooh,
deal.
wow.
Well, that's the other thing. It would make it easier for us to do, like, just looking at it from just like a podcast end, we can automatically upload to Spotify and stuff, like next day, stuff like that. I don't know. It's just like the more I've looked at it, the less affiliate is appealing, because at least as partner, we could negotiate and be like, hey, we have to be able to upload our shows the next day. I want to be able to upload my highlights the next day, right? Or my because like Tim
Again,
uploads
it's-
videos day of. Like, let's say he does something that day, he uploads a clip of that day of usually, over on Tim the Tatman or more Tim the Tatman. Like, because he's a partner, he has that ability to do that. Because he has that like status in there to negotiate for that. Like you have Kind of Funny, who uploads almost like an hour or two after the show ends. Their show is on every other platform. If it's something that they record live on Twitch. So it's like, the more I've looked at it, the more it's like Twitch isn't being an affiliate isn't the benchmark they make it look like.
That Twitch makes it look like.
Yeah.
Like they send you these big congratulatory things of, hey, okay.
And then they never talk to you again.
Yeah, unless it's like,
Thank you for being here and making us more money with your ad revenue.
yeah,
And that's
for real.
the thing, like, it doesn't benefit you as much. Like, God, how much, like, hold on, let me pull up my statistics real quick to just see how much I made from ad revenue. Okay. Ad revenue, I have this set from October 1st to now, okay, on my channel. How much ad revenue I've made? 45 fucking cents.
Oh yeah. And there's an ad at the beginning of everybody's first hop in of your channel too.
Yes.
Look at all that 45 cents you've made.
It doesn't make sense to just, it doesn't make sense. Like, even on YouTube, like, after a certain point, when you start to make the ad revenue, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just being like in the position to make money on Twitch doesn't, like, through Twitch doesn't make as much sense. On the counter to it, to play devil's advocate for just a second with myself, essentially, on some things, it is a way for some people to be able to support you if they don't have a monetary way to do it through, like, Twitch Prime and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, there is a bit of a double-edged sword to it, because some people aren't as able to support other ways, or don't feel as comfortable being able to support other ways. And I understand that. So that's why also I haven't entirely shut down the fucking door. in my brain yet, because that is how some people like to show their support. Because like some people love to show off the emotes, some people like to show off the sub badges. Like there's that as on the same page. You've got some community stuff you get from it. So it's just like, if there's a way to do those where people get those things they like without Twitch taking all of it and being like, hey, here you go, have fun.
Yeah, for real.
I would do it.
It's like, hey.
I don't know, it's kind of silly at this point. The fact that, like, from a music standpoint, I've looked at it like, man, Facebook gaming.
Right, yeah, like that's still a little that's a little shocking to me still. That
You ever heard of Disguised Toast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
He was
contract's great.
Yeah, like he was a Hearthstone streamer forever, and then he switched to like so many different other games. And then after he stopped being a Hearthstone streamer, he quit Twitch and went to Facebook Gaming. And
Yeah,
it's
his contract went to Facebook Gaming, but his contract with Facebook Gaming allows him to come back to Twitch when he chooses. Like he's popped up streams on Twitch just randomly.
Cool,
right? Like his contract is open to that, because sometimes he feels like the need to just go over there real quick and check how things are going. Because not everyone's going to go over to Facebook Gaming.
That's
the other thing. Like, if I were to start streaming on YouTube, like, my YouTube subscription is far smaller than my community I have on here.
It's strange to me that like I don't know if this is still true, but the largest streaming community on YouTube was Game Theory.
I'm pretty sure Jack might take it, Courage, now.
Okay.
Just because of the size of his
content.
content.
His existing stuff as well. Like
he's killing YouTube right now. But I'm pretty sure Game Theory would be like top 3 still, alone. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's just like it's tough to know how to feel about it, because it's just like, cool, it's another source of revenue, but am I comfortable with that source of revenue now? And it's not just the DMCA. There's been a lot of stuff over the last 6 months, especially, that have made me think that, with like the allegations within Twitch that has been going on, with a lot of the sexual harassment stuff that apparently has been going on and stuff like that, their attitudes on certain stuff. It's just, there's been a list of things that, especially the last year through 2020, that have just built up to me getting to the point where it's like, maybe I shouldn't be an affiliate, because it also gives me the option to like multi-stream as well. Like, I could set up a multi-stream at that point. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a crazy bastard.
I don't know. Or maybe you're just sick of Twitch and their bullshit.
That's probably part of it.
I remember in 2018 when we went to TwitchCon, I went to a bunch of like the art booth areas and talked to some of my favorite creators who are YouTubers at the time, who are starting up on Twitch. And I was like, the conversation we had was something along the lines of me saying I personally still prefer YouTube when it comes to content over Twitch, and them being like, well, we kind of prefer Twitch over YouTube as content creators because of blah 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 blah. But now they all just kind of suck.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, like, Twitch, I think, has the bet. Like, for me, for how I do content, I think Twitch is better for me, just because that like interactive way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I bounce well off of a chat. But like,
well, keep in mind that also, like, you know, streaming on YouTube like is also a thing now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which
like,
I feel due to Courage, like, is kind of taken a little more seriously.
Yeah, no, 100%, with him and Valkyrie on there now. Like,
Oh, that's right. Valkyrie did go there.
yeah, she did. Like, 2 big named streamers are over there. Like, I don't know. It's just Twitch has the platform of live streaming for years since Justin TV. So if you want live content, it's where you kind of go. And so they've cultivated their platform to be able to do that. YouTube, on the other hand, is new to live streaming and is not cultivated towards that. It's cultivated towards video content, which is fine. It's what they do.
I also will say, because I think this is a potential enough for it, not cultivated towards streaming yet.
Oh, that's true. I'll bite that. Yeah.
Because there's not. Because, assuming they don't do something else dumb, there's not a whole lot stopping them, really.
No.
From
But YouTube still does a ton of dumb shit.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And that's also why, like, me mentally debating Facebook gaming, I'll never move to Facebook gaming because I don't like Facebook as a platform.
I've been.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Facebook and things, I've been debating just deleting my Facebook and my Instagram, honestly. Almost debated Twitter too, but is it really?
I like my Instagram, though I don't post hardly anything on it, just due to the fact of usually for my Instagram, I'm on the photography side of things, so I deal with a lot less bullshit than I'm sure other people do.
Yeah, but the reason I've been debating it just because of how much Facebook sells your information, even though they say they aren't, and Instagram is owned by Facebook, so
True.
just something that I keep in the back end of my mind.
That's fair. And also for me, like, I don't use Facebook. Like, that's the other thing.
I use it to tell my mind to my family because they're ignorant.
That's what my Instagram apparently will be going forward, probably. Because did I tell you what happened? I didn't talk about this on the show. I have 2 stories for the show before we end.
Okay.
So this happened Saturday, not last weekend, the weekend before. The Saturday Joe Biden was announced the winner. I don't know if I talked about this last week. If I did, sorry, repeating story. But I posted on Instagram me raising my Moscow Mule and saying raise a glass to freedom.
No. Okay.
My Instagram is pretty much primarily people I know in person through work and everyone I know on Twitch who follows me.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. But there's a couple family members who follow me. My brother, I think, follows me. And my uncle follows me. My uncle comments on it going, more like raise a glass to socialism.
I've seen this post.
So me, on stream, there's a moment where when Stevin gets to it, he'll see it that Saturday. Of me going, I don't know how to respond to this. Because it's, I think how I put it was, dear uncle, 1, better than fascism. 2, Joe Biden is barely Democrat. He's the most moderate Democrat of Democrats.
Yeah,
he could run as a Republican. That's how non-Democrat he actually is.
If Joe Biden ran as a Republican, he probably would have beaten Trump as the Senate, as the person that they nominated.
I'll say, I actually see, for some reason, I see people having less problems. Like those who have problems would have less problems with them. Just on the whole thing alone of, hey, he's not this anymore.
So there's that. So I had that happen. And it's just I think that, like, I'm still gonna post whatever I want to fucking post wherever. I mean, I've made that abundantly clear. I'm definitely been more politically spoken out over the last year. But then that same week, a few days, it was, no, it was before the election. This was before the election. So I didn't get the chance to tell this funny ass story. So I go do laundry that Sunday because that's usually the day that I go do laundry. Okay.
Huh?
Go to start my car. Car doesn't start. I turn it on. Nothing. Like, it turns on for a second and then everything stops. So I think it's an electrical issue. That's the only thing I can come up with because I can't lock it through my button or anything. Like, nothing works. Call my dad real quick. Be like, hey, can you swing by? Can you or he's like, I'll see. We'll see which one shows up, me or your brother. We're like, all right, cool. He flipped a coin. My dad lost. So my dad's the one who comes out. Texts me, hey, I lost, so I'm on my way. Gets there, turns off his car, goes over. We check it out real quick because I showed him that it wasn't loose. The one of the cables to the battery. But when he goes over, he kind of he goes over there, he looks at it, it's like, you know what? He puts on a bolt real quick and to fix it, like one of the socket wrench. And immediately the bolt part of it is loose as hell. So it's like, I see what the problem is. My dad's not very mechanically inclined. So these simple things are like, hey, cool. I also don't have a ton of tools on me to fix this kind of shit. So it works out. He drops the the socket. So we lost that.
Yeah.
Because it fell somewhere in the car that we couldn't get. God knows where it's ended up at this point. Because I didn't see it last time. Anytime I've driven since, it has not fallen out. So, that's gone. My dad goes to start his car now. Apparently, he's been having problems with the fuel pump.
I feel like you're cursed, Dev.
I am. This is Murphy's Law 101. Because apparently, earlier that month, he had the issue where the car, he went to the courthouse real quick, and the car didn't start when he got on a hill to start it. So he says on flat ground as possible, because outside right over here, outside, where my neighbor drives out to the alleyway where we drive into our driveways, he pretty much parked right there with enough room for the neighbor to get by. My dad's sitting there trying to start the car. I start cackling, and he goes, "Shut the fuck up, Devin." And I cackle more. So he's like, "Motherfucker, of course. I should have had your fucking brother come out and do this. I knew it." So all of a sudden, my dad starts calling my brother. He's like, "I should have had you come the fuck out of here." Me cackling in the background of this phone call. My brother, you guys have seen him on stream, Detective Dumb, from the Among Us streams. Kyler's over the phone being like, "What do you mean? What happened?" "Well, you know that issue I had at the courthouse? Yeah. Yeah, it's happening again. I need you to get your ass out here." So, by the way, my car started up fine. So my car's working. I can't go to the laundromat, which, by the way, this day was why I didn't do a community stream that day, because I needed to still watch 2 movies, which I plan to watch one at the laundromat.
Wait, what stream were you planning on doing?
A community
Sunday
stream.
Community stream.
Community.
So,
Okay.
With all the community.
It kind of glitched, and I could have swore I thought you said comedian. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, tell me I didn't miss that.
yeah, you missed that.
Dev doing stand-up comedy?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, people tell me I can do stand-up, but I prefer to sit down.
Okay, no, you maybe you can't. I don't.
I was just gonna sit there in silence and let the let the awkward silence play.
That was
Anyways,
okay, maybe you do
continuing the
need some
story.
work.
So my dad has me go to the back of the car, lift up the compartment in the back where like the spare is, to see if I hear the fuel pump coming off. As soon as he's done with the phone call with my brother, as soon as I go back there to listen, he starts it. The car starts perfectly, and I just bust up cackling again. And immediately he goes, "Shut up! Close the fucking the back. I'm leaving." Called my brother like 5 minutes after just to make sure he wasn't on, like 2 or 3 minutes after my dad left. And was sitting in the car. I'm like, I should probably call Kyler just to make sure he's not coming. And be like, hey, you're not coming, right? Also, thanks for the biddies there, bunny. I'm just like, did dad call you just to let you know not to show up? He's like, yeah. What happened? Humor happened. I legitimately, as my dad was going like driving away, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna tell the story of the podcast. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Pretty much, and just rolled off. I'm like, fair.
I don't know anybody you talk to anyways.
But yeah, that was something I meant to talk about a couple weeks ago. But that was a fucking funny trip with my dad. Just everything that could go wrong starts going wrong. Well, it's like when it's like the tire situation where I had a flat, was stuck at work, then put on my sprayer, and that was flat. Like, you can't make this shit up.
I don't know. I'm kind of sitting here. I was feeling sorry for you, but I'm kind of sitting here, kind of slightly brainstorming about what the hell I'm going to do with this Photoshop challenge. And all of a sudden realize I have no pity for you. So
I'm not bad with cars. What the fuck?
I mean, I'm just going to say what I said the last time he had a car problem was, why don't you take it to a mechanic?
How am I supposed to take it to a mechanic for a nail in the tire? Fuck you!
oh, there he is.
What the fuck? How? What? I took it to a tire repair shop, which is the one we've been using, which gives a free repair for those kind of incidences. I did exactly what I'm supposed to. Oh. And then the whole electrical issue was something that I didn't know about, was the fact that, like, hey, I don't have the tools to fix it, to fix a loose cable. Okay? So I called the person to fix it. I don't need to call a fucking mechanic to be like, oh, hey, mechanic, can you just socket wrench this real quick? Sure, I'll pay you fucking $500 for that, Stevin.
I guess what I'm more or less going for is there's something called preventative car checkups, and like, I don't know.
You act like I don't do those.
I don't know if you do those things. So like, all I hear is my tire popped. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. I understand. I do understand.
I don't think he does, Dev. Maybe you should explain it.
Maybe you should scream more into my ears.
Well, I don't know how you prevent running over a nail. Do I need to walk the
see
entire...
where you're driving?
Oh my fucking god! If you were right here,
at my camera.
I would. Oh, this is one of those moments where you're lucky we don't do this in person.
You know, to all of our first-time listeners, just so you're aware, assuming your eardrums haven't been exploded already, this is normal. So proceed with caution.
Ooh,
and at your own risk, honestly.
By the way, I'm tasting the last one because I had the Rainier cherry. Trying the Fuji apple. That tastes like a Fuji apple.
I have a really corny, stupid idea that I'm not even sure would turn out good. And then I kind of have another idea which plays to your actual preference of the seltzers.
Yeah.
And I may honestly go with that second one.
Hey, however you want to do it.
Just for the fact of...
I'm going to transfer to the list real quick, by the way.
Like,
I've ranked all of these now.
I'll be
Perfect, Stephen,
honest.
that was perfect.
I go for the...
You moved as soon as I transitioned over. It was great.
Go for the... Like, it would be easier, honestly, if I go with my second idea. Because I got this first one, and it's like the cheesy, kind of dumb idea.
See, I'm just gonna be really easy. I'm gonna just literally take Ridley from Alien, just mask out her face and put Dev's face on there. I'm just kidding. That's it.
So where I ranked all the San Juans, the raspberry cran is the lowest. Only reason being is it's the most muted flavor.
Which is weird coming from a cranberry flavored.
Coming from a raspberry flavor.
Because it's raspberry cran.
I like... sorry, I just noticed the White Claw. Is it raspberry or raspberry for White Claw?
Where?
Up 4 from the San Julio.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
Aha, typos.
I make typos all the time, whatever. So that was the lowest. It's in between the White Claw mango below it and the White Claw tangerine above it. Then I put the Huckleberry above strawberry lemonade Truly, but below the Truly Truly blueberry Alcacia. Above that, though, is the Rainier cherry.
Acacia flavored drink. It's a acai.
Acai? Okay, whatever. Fuck you. Acai, whatever. Above that is Rainier cherry, which is right below strawberry kiwi Vizzy. And then I'm putting the San Juan Fuji apple in between mango lemonade below it and Corona blackberry lime above it. Because that blackberry lime is actually really good. It's like, as soon as you taste it, you're like, oh, that's good. That's a good flavor.
I have one thing I'm going to say.
Yes.
And I know spectacular camera work. Me? Oh, thanks. I do my best. Thanks for the bits. I'm just reading your list. It just feels like I want to say, how basic do you have to be to have lemon as your favorite flavor out of all of the citrus, like all of the Seltzers that you've had?
How is that basic?
It just like all the other flavors are like blueberry pomegranate, black cherry, blackberry, Fuji apple.
Loves those.
Lemon.
everyone loves, like, everyone else puts like black cherry and mango towards the tops of their list. If anything, I'm the opposite of basic because I'm putting fucking lemon, which, talking to the most people, is not even in their top 5 of seltzers. But I love the flavor of lemon, so fuck you. Anyways, go ahead, Jay.
Well, I was gonna say is like, kind of in defense of you, is I also kind of have a more of a basic kind of palate, and so whether it's basic or not, I personally think it's a good choice.
Also, watermelon is one of my favorite flavors, so.
Watermelon, I'm not judging. It's the lemon I'm judging.
Motherfucking watermelon's more basic than lemon. What?
Notice, the misspelling of tangerine. I didn't want to give everything away.
What? Did I...
It's Tagarin and not tangerine.
How did I miss? What am I? Oh, am I missing the N?
Yes. I love me some Tagarin. Tangerine.
You make a list like this, fucker.
I don't drink enough.
Not near as invested as you, though, which wouldn't make it nearly as funny.
So, you want me to make a list of things? I'll find something to make a list of that I like. It'll take a while.
Also, Notepad doesn't have any fucking spell check, so fuck you.
It's true. Notepad's weird.
Or not Notepad, sticky note. Yeah, that's the updated list.
That's the most graphically robust notepad I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know. I think that's a good list, though. I think that's a fair list for me. I think I like the Fuji Apple the best because it's like, it's Apple, and I like Apple, so.
Apple.
That's actually a really good apple. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that tastes like, and it almost tastes like.
Apple. Hey,
No.
Apple.
It almost tastes like. It's not as, like. And not as bloated, cider. Hard cider.
Not as loaded hard cider.
Speaking of seltzers and the utter silliness of this conversation, which we should wrap up because we're coming up on 2.5 hours live.
We are.
I
just noticed.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, the reason why I started being a jerk again is because I'd been silent for like 45 minutes. So
I tried to engage you in conversation during the time when Jay was gone.
I was just zoned out.
I noticed.
I didn't even notice Jay left until I looked back. I was like, oh, Jay's gone.
Anyway, point being is I have an idea in my head for it. So I know what pictures I'm gonna ask for tomorrow.
I have no idea what I want. Like, what is it? Are we going for like dev, like Duff Man? Are we going mechanical dev? I don't know.
For the biddies, buddy.
I think you by your side. So I know how I'm going to interpret this. I unfortunately, for the pictures that I need from Dev, will have to kind of tell him what it is.
Oh, that's
or
fine.
Maybe I can. Yeah, but it's not gonna. I wanted it to kind of be a complete surprise, but yeah. So I have my ideas for what I'm gonna do with your request, and it's not near as. It's not. Ideally, it's not gonna be near as dumb looking as I originally thought it was gonna be.
I'm curious to see how this goes, because like even so, this I think can go even if you're both not on the show. By the way, we can rate them and everything because you can finish it and send it, and we can create the next challenge for it. Because I'm cool with doing this as like a potential like, at least like this set of episodes has this segment. For audio listeners, we'll post it on the Twitter, so you can check it out there. That way you don't have to sort through the fucking video and go like, it's this point. If the video is fucking uploaded at that point. Yeah, we'll make sure to upload that on there. But yeah, so the first challenge for you guys' Photoshop challenge is that you'll be doing is Dev, the Seltzer hero. How you interpret that is up to you. And the rules, as stated, are they each get to choose 2 photos of me that I get to take for them, with 1 retake, essentially. Anything else they want to put in the video into the photos, 100% up to them. I would love this if this gets to the point where the community also takes part in the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
That would be awesome.
At some point, we're gonna need to get more judges in there too, so we can get.
If anyone else is on the show, they're judging as well. They get 100%. If anyone else is on the show, they're judging at the same time.
Weird apple
It's a coconut.
Shirt.
It's coconuts.
I'm about to say, wait, those aren't apples.
It's a coconut shirt.
I doubted for a second.
That a coconut. They put the lime in the coconut. Anyways, with that being said, look forward to that next week on the HarHar podcast. Weird that the actual second episode going up on audio is going to be fucking 2.5 hours. But it is what it is. So thank you for hanging out. You can follow us on all Twitters, Instagrams, YouTubes, Twitch, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Hopefully we're there now. So till then,
we apologize.
do we?
We're a virus. We're infecting more and more slowly over time.
Stop it. 2020 is not a good year for that.
God damn it. All right. We'll see you guys
Hit the
later.
button, Dev.
Yep. Bye, everyone.